right, good evening, everyone. We'll get started with Rob's post-game press conference. We'll start with questions in the room. Doug, go ahead.
Yeah, first, can we get an update if you have one on
No, I
Lennon
don't
and
have an update.
Gregerson?
No update on those guys yet. Sorry, I just got in. No, I have not heard.
Okay. How much of the defeat tonight was just Miami's quality and maybe fatigue by y'all?
Yeah, I mean the goals they scored aren't. They're a sloppy giveaway in the beginning and then a quick moment where we're not organized, obviously on top of our box. They score in the first minute, and the next one's a set piece. Like, you have to do your role on set pieces and be really hyper alert. I mean, the thing is they create so many different types of opportunities, so I can give them that, but those are the details in playoff games that make a difference. Obviously for us, and the other day it helped in our favor, but I think fatigue is a massive factor. The fact that these guys have been on they'll have been on 6 flights in 5 days, like, I'm so proud of them. They battled, they fought, they scrapped. They had first minute goal, 2 injuries, like they're resilient, and I'm really proud of them. I'm proud to be their coach at this moment, and they never gave up. So fatigue's a massive one, but we went toe to toe with them and nearly had them.
How much did the having to use 2 subs in the first half on the injuries affect what y'all were trying to do, both the rest of the half and with subs and tactics the rest of the game?
I mean, of course, it changed everything. We didn't plan to make 2 subs in the first half, so then yeah, you're down 2 moments, and now you have to be really strategic with what you want to do. We had to change the shape quickly to even allow for that. So it changed the whole game and what we wanted to do with it. But I thought the guys adapted really, really well. They kept fighting, kept blocking passes. Dax did a great job trying to get around Messi and Bartos and the midfielders that played. And obviously Brad was fantastic, as he's been all year. So
I don't know if Lennon's injury could be argued as a result of this schedule congestion. I don't know about Stian's.
To my knowledge, it is not.
Yeah, but I don't. Stian's, I guess you could argue. Is this an unfair format, do you think, with having to play so many games in so few times, important games in so few days?
Yeah. I mean, look, I can't make excuses. It just sounds like an excuse on this end. Like, we went toe to toe with them. We did the best we could. We made the best decisions with the information we had, and didn't have to worry about him going into it. But like, guess what? Been on these amount of flights, this amount of travel. It's not. I don't think it's the best way to do it. But I don't make those decisions. My job is just prepare the team and show up and play the game. So we did our best with the information we had, all the resources we had, and we showed up as best we could.
I know it's a frustrating one at the moment now because of that fight, but to be able to change shape 3 different times, I think, to be able to overcome that, what was the vibe with the guys coming off the field? Was it disappointment? Was it exhaustion? Or was it, hey, we've got a spark going back?
I think it was both. I think disappointment, exhaustion, because they felt like they were in it, and I hear Brad's messaging into them, like, they got to come back to Atlanta, they got to come to Atlanta, like, pick your heads up, there's another game. So right away he's showing his leadership qualities about picking everybody up, and that was my message to them, is that on the whole, like, with everything we faced, they've been so resilient. And so the game was a little bit chaotic in the way everything went, but these guys just keep showing up in those moments, and I'm really proud of that. That's what I can say.
It's one of those games where, because of the situations, you had to try things honestly and figure things out on the fly. Did it maybe open up some possibilities for you in the game back in Atlanta that you kind of learned tonight?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they can be unpredictable at times with the quality players they have on the pitch. And then I think, like, guys that stepped into the field, Noah Cobb, for instance, Luis Abram did a great job. I mean, when they come in, they did a great job of doing the best they could. So there's things we need to look at and reflect. The biggest thing is we have to recover. Like, we'll fly back tonight, get back at whatever time to our houses, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then sleep until they can come back to training in a couple of days. So that would be my preference for what they go and do now.
What would your message be to Atlanta United fans who are going to be listening to this and getting ready for Saturday? I
can't wait to see them. I mean, I'm already buzzing about what that place is going to be like. That's my message to them, is like, these people they're waiting to cheer for you. You've been three on the road to to finish the season there, or to even into the playoffs, and they put those performances together, and you can feel the buzz getting back for him and really supporting him like they do. So, and even you know what, all the people that are coming to see Messi, come on, no problem. I love it because eventually, like last time when things were going well for us, they were also cheering. So I get it. Come and see the superstars. Come and see our team fight and compete. But these boys aren't done yet.
You talked about the chaos a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about Derek Williams and how kind of crucial he's been and just holding everything together back there with Brett?
Yeah, he's been very consistent. He's a quiet leader in some ways. Like you might not see him shouting and screaming, but he leads by example. And then he communicates to people in front of him. He's really honest. He's accountable. And he's been good. Like, defensively, he's been strong. He battled with Suarez all night long. That's not an easy one. And yeah, he's just been consistent, and it's been a bit of a pleasure to coach, to be honest.
And then Pedro and Saba, we've kind of seen, their link up, their connection in the past few matches, but what have you seen specifically, like out on the training ground, that kind of points to just what they're building together?
Yeah, I mean, we've not had a ton of time on the training ground as of recently. I think just over the games, they've started to kind of gel a little bit more. Pedro's got some real quality in terms of his crossing, and Saba, sometimes you don't know where he ends up until a lot of times he is ending up near Pedro, and they've found some good combinations, and sometimes it's not a thing that I'm doing, or maybe they don't realize they're doing, but they're just finding some connection and playing off each other really well. But yeah, both are in good form. And Pedro battled through a nasty knock from the other day, and to get himself fit to play again, like it's massive. It's really, really commendable. So, and all the guys, like, just to recover and go again, guys that haven't played, that could be disappointed, that showed up and got in the game, like, yeah, that's what a team's for. That's about being a team. So showed a lot of character tonight, and I'm excited to get back to Atlanta and have some hard decisions to make now with the team.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Probably good. All right, go ahead. Questions for Brad?
All of the factors put in, the travel, the number of matches, the quality of the opponent, how tough is that tonight?
Yeah, it was up there. It's up there certainly with one of the tougher challenges that we faced. All the different elements, everything stacked against us. Really proud of the guys to continue to battle, especially going down early. Find a way into the game and yeah, you know, it took everything to go out there.
So what can you, I mean, there's positives to take, I would think, from this, that it was just 2-1. And y'all did have chances even at the end to tie the game.
Yeah.
Going into next week. What would you say to, or what have you said to the guys?
Just that we got to keep our heads up. We got to go again. You know, I think I mentioned maybe a week ago or maybe before the Montreal game. We've had our backs against the wall for quite some time now. And when our backs have been against the wall, we found a way. Our backs are against the wall now. We've got to go into game 2. We've got to win. Plain and simple. That's all we can do. And so we've got to rest. We got to recover, and then we got to prepare to go again.
Y'all done I think a really good job during the 3 matches previously of not having those mental mistakes for the most part. And then tonight, the turnover on the first goal, and then it looked somebody looked like didn't do what they were supposed to do on that set piece goal. How much of that is more related to fatigue than anything else?
Yeah, I mean, that certainly plays a part, you know. I think the first one was a bit sloppy from us. And I think that moment, instead of probably trying to play out, we do what we did the rest of the 90+ minutes and clear our lines and squeeze up the pitch and kind of live to fight another moment. And instead we try to play, we lose it. Can't even remember, to be honest, but like play it in, he lays it off, and Suarez is running in unopposed, you know. And with these guys, you can't give them these chances.
You know this club better than anybody, you know this locker room in these kind of games better than anybody. Is this one of the proudest moments you've been of a performance?
For sure, for sure. All things considered, you know, to go to Orlando, to go back to Atlanta, to recover, get on a plane the next day, go to Montreal, play that game, back to Atlanta. And when I say back to Atlanta, we're getting back at 2-3 in the morning. So you're not getting a great sleep. 24 hours later, you're back on a plane, back down here. But listen, it is what it is. It's, you know, those were the cards that we were dealt, and you got to deal with it. And we're not going to sit here and use it as an excuse. We're not going to use it, you know, as poor us. We got to roll our sleeves up and go again.
After having a lot of those games, especially the back-to-back games in 7 days, how do you mentally get ready to play in those games when you know that there's that fatigue and you know that there's that tiredness? How do you get ready mentally to compete in those games?
I think, you know, that is probably the easier part. You know, physically, you're trying to get your legs back under you. It's a lot of running, you know, especially for our central players, midfielders, up and down, side to side, covering a lot of ground. You know, you look at tonight, obviously the 2 injuries early on, that changes things. We've got to change our system, and there's a bit helter-skelter there in the first half, and you know, we got to halftime, and okay, and you know, it was one of those where you deal with it. And so the mental side of it is, yeah, you've got to be strong. You know, when your legs are tired, when lactic acid is starting to set in, right? You got to keep going, or put your hand up and say, listen, I can't go anymore, and it's the next guy up, and that's all you can do.
As captain, how have your messages to the team changed in these kind of do or die games, these must-win games?
You know, it's just you have to you know, enjoy these moments. You know, when you're in these types of situations, there's no guarantee that you're gonna, 1, be back in the playoffs next year, or 2, you know, go on some sort of run and you know, have success. And so when you're in these moments, you got to try and enjoy them. And you know, it's like I said, when our backs have been against the wall and everyone's counted us out and everyone's saying, oh, we're this or that, that's fine. You know, it's the group in that locker room, over the last few weeks, the belief has really, it's really grown. And when you have that, anything can happen, you know, on another day, and or maybe we score the second one. No, we're not far off. I think it was a Sunday shot in the second half. Jamal had a really good chance in the first half. I mean, we knew we were gonna get chances. You gotta capitalize on those moments.
Last one for me, you don't have home field advantage in this round, which is fair based upon the standings, but having to play 3 games of importance, including 2 playoff games in just a few days, is this a fair format, do you think?
Doug, nobody cares about my opinion, so it doesn't matter. We turn up, listen, we turn up wherever the game is. And that's all we can do. So fair or not, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm really proud of the group to go out there tonight and put the shift in that we put in. We've got to rest, recover, and be ready to give everything, because it's going to be another moment with our backs against the wall come next Saturday.
People care about your opinion about this. I asked Rob about it. I'd love to get your take on what's your message to fans watching right now, fans who are gonna listen to this later about Saturday.
We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them for 90+ minutes. I know they're gonna turn up. I know they're gonna let their voices be heard. But we're gonna need them. And I know it's not been, you know, a quote unquote as successful season as everyone would have liked, but we're here now. We're in it. We're in the thick of it, and going into that game on Saturday, we're fighting for everything to force a third game back down here. And so we're gonna need them, and I know they're gonna turn up. And so we're gonna be looking forward to that game in the Benz.
All right, thanks, Brett.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.